Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up, it's your girl Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, a little notify bell next to it. Make sure you always get your new Going In Raw notifications.
Or at least you could hope.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as long as we don't do more than 3 in a 24-hour time period.
Oh, it's so confusing.
It's fine. It is. Look, man, it's still still the Wild West out here on YouTube. The kids program is going to get apparently pretty bad coming up pretty soon. Have you been reading up on all that stuff?
What?
Children's programming on YouTube.
What about it?
The FTC?
Yeah.
Oh man, they literally called YouTube content creators fish in a barrel. But they were talking specifically about how a lot of like, for example, Ryan's toy review show, how it's basically advertising for toys with no regulation whatsoever.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're going to be demonetizing a wealth of like the most popular children's. That's what they're threatening, anyways. So everybody's gearing up for that.
Well, if you got an advertiser, you got to disclose it. That's the law.
Well, yeah. Anyways, thank God we don't do toy reviews here.
No, we don't.
Yet.
Yet.
Anyways, happy Friday, Larson.
Yes, happy Friday the 13th.
Oh, that's right, it is. Ooh.
So don't let any cats walk in front of you or step under ladders or any of that kind of stuff.
No wonder we had
any mirrors.
No wonder we had a botch on the live version of this today.
No, we have
Friday the 13th.
We have botches sometimes. The day of the week doesn't matter at all.
It's this dang Streamlabs update. I'm telling you.
So that's more likely
every time
rationale as opposed to it being some superstition.
Making things all better and new. What's going on in the world of wrestling this weekend? Clash of Champions.
Yeah,
that's what's happening.
We'll be doing a live stream for that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do we're gonna do a live stream for that. So be prepared for that.
Come join us, please.
Notification, maybe. Is Cal coming?
He has a show
Cal
that day.
hate me or something? Does Cal? Do you hate me?
He doesn't hate you.
He doesn't seem to want to do any things with me. He just wanted to do 2 weeks of shows with you.
Mm-hmm. We had a good time.
I know. I don't think he likes me. I think he's like, that's. What did you tell him? What did you tell him, Larson?
I don't have to tell him anything, man.
He just watches the show. He's like, that guy is too much.
It's too
He's
much.
like, I'm in the room.
Larson, how'd you put up?
I'm in the room with that guy for 5 minutes. I want to gut wrench him.
I want to see that, actually.
I feel like he wants to do that anyways. He gut wrenches a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my goodness. Anyways, I suppose we should talk about laws, legislation,
exciting
politics,
stuff here.
Negotiations.
Because we're well-versed in all that stuff.
Heck yeah, man.
Not so much. So there's been a lot of news going around lately. I think it started earlier this week about a law that just got passed by the state senate here in the great state of California.
Well, this has been
percolating for a while. In response to the growth of what is called, I believe, the gig economy.
Yeah, man.
The proliferation of employers hiring people not as employees but as independent contractors so they can get around things like benefits, like regular hours, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things they could avoid doing by, like, you have 90 days, I think, to pay an independent contractor versus having them on payroll. There's a lot of things.
Squeezing as much profit out of the working man makes me want to become a communist, Larson.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow. We learned something new here.
If this was the 1950s,
I'd
be in big trouble.
You'd be out of work right now.
Would you name me?
No.
You wouldn't go in front of the
I wouldn't name any names.
House Un-American Activities Committee?
No, I wouldn't do that.
No.
I'd say, get lost, Joe McCarthy. Get lost.
Have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?
What business is that of yours?
Arrested. You're done. You're done in this business, man.
No, it's not
Just
arrested.
Just name me.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Oh, you'd get arrested.
No, he wouldn't get arrested. He wouldn't be able to work. He wouldn't get arrested. It wasn't against the law.
I think people actually did get arrested back then for things like that. Anyways, get back to it.
So is this law, I believe it's called AB 5, that just passed the state senate here, that was written and might be on the verge of passing soon, should it get through the state assembly, and signed by Governor Gavin Newsom. that would eliminate a lot of the loopholes, save for a few companies that have filed and have been granted reprieves from the law. So naturally, a lot of people started talking about and speculating how this would affect wrestling, namely WWE, since it's the largest wrestling corporation in America. No, the world.
Una planeta.
And then also they signed their wrestlers to exclusive contracts as independent contractors. Yes, it seems like a contradiction. John Oliver on last week tonight.
Yeah.
Did it last year, earlier this year. Sorry, did a really extensive and well put together piece about how that's all pretty damn bogus.
Yeah.
And then someone at Fightful, I can't remember the guy's name, posted a thing crunching some numbers and speculating on what it would actually cost on an annual basis to make WWE wrestlers employees.
Relatively.
And it's not that much.
I really wonder if it's the kind of thing where Vince is it might seem to him to be too much of a departure from how it's always been
I'm
done.
sure his mentality is this is how we've been doing it for 40 years.
That's such a sea change of a precedent to set that he might be thinking he's helping out the rest of the world of wrestling by not being the leader on this particular thing.
That's entirely possible.
On the other hand, sorry, it should be pointed out there's a wonderful promotion in that runs out of London,
Yes.
Pro Wrestling Eve.
Yes.
That recently teamed up with some sort of union.
Yeah, their wrestlers have unionized.
Yeah. And that's really cool.
That's cool.
It's great to see.
But since we're not lawyers, we didn't really talk about much earlier this week because we didn't know anything about how it would affect wrestling or wrestlers. But thankfully, there was a lawyer and a former pro wrestler, Eric D. Anderson, who went to Twitter and dropped a massive Twitter thread explaining how the new law could potentially alter the landscape of professional wrestling right here in the Golden State. Here are some excerpts. First, he explains the law as it exists now, how one can be qualified as employee versus independent contractor. Please,
lawyer voice.
Yes, please.
Under California law, now any person providing labor or services for remuneration shall be considered an employee rather than an independent contractor. The person is free from the control and direction of the hiring entity in connection with the performance of the work, both under the contract for the performance of the work and in fact. WWE will have a hard time making that argument. The person performs the work outside the usual course of the hiring entity's business. Whether using wrestling or entertainment as terms, there is no valid argument that the WWE superstars are performing work outside the WWE's usual course of business. They are the business. The person is customarily engaged in an independently established trade, occupation, or business of the same nature as that involved in the work performed. WWE controls where their talent works, when they work, who they can speak with, what they can wear, and what they can wear on stage or in the ring.
By any measure you could probably come up with, WWE wrestlers are employees.
Yes, and in fact, I would think the closest analogy would be in the world of pro sports, where players are signed to exclusive contracts to play for these teams. They, in every major sport, are considered employees, correct?
While they're under the terms of that contract, yes.
Right, yeah.
Yes. I mean, they have so little say, by and large, in what they do on the field that they can get traded to another team and have zero say in it.
Yeah.
You know,
there are exceptions. They have trade exceptions.
There's no trade
like
clauses for those who are more established with particular franchises or been in the league long enough where, yes, they can negotiate that in their deal. Eric Anderson continues, lots of interest in AB5 and its impact on pro wrestling. One question is whether the potential impact on WWE will be the same for AEW, Ring of Honor, or Impact. The answer is it depends on the contract. If the wrestling company allows greater freedom for the talent and does not exert complete control over the scheduling of talent and the ability for talent to work elsewhere, they have a better argument that it's in IC, independent contractor, and not an employee. So for example, Impact. I don't know what the situation is now. At one point, they would allow their wrestlers to take independent bookings, but Impact had to be the one actually doing the bookings, and they would take a cut. I don't know if that's the case now. I'm pretty sure that most Impact wrestlers are free to, whether it's they have to book through Impact or not, free to take independent dates.
Just anecdotally, I mean, some of their biggest names, Tessa Blanchard, Sami Callihan, they are all over the place.
Yes.
They do plenty of stuff.
Yes. Eric Anderson continues, quote, I would expect that indie promotions in California will not be impacted at all as they do not use exclusive contracts, at least none do that I am aware of, except Lucha Underground.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
For those thinking the WWE need not comply because it's incorporated in Delaware and based in Connecticut, think again. California law applies across the board, and WWE is also a full registered foreign California company. They not only appear often in California, but conduct all sorts of business year-round. This is an interesting bit here. Quote, do not be surprised if we start seeing a slew of production companies owned by wrestlers pop up to try and fit into one of the exceptions provided by the law. Very similar to how many Hollywood deals work out.
That is the most. To me, that's the most interesting bit about here because that'd be a huge loophole, and it got me thinking. I wonder if wrestlers will start thinking of themselves in a different way if that's what it takes. If you have to incorporate or create a production company essentially around your brand, I wonder if that would change the perception some pro wrestlers have about themselves, about the business.
That's entirely possible if they are able to actually make their brand manifest in a way that's out of the ordinary in the pro wrestling world. That would be interesting.
I mean, I have very, very limited. We both have very, very limited experience with how production companies work in the Hollywood business. But you start off small with a couple people. You maybe try to buy a property of a comic book or a book or something like that, and then you put all the pieces together, and then you try to grow from that. A pro wrestler starting out could think the same way, and it could be a matter of keeping your own brand intact, meaning your name, your look, what you do.
I have heard, I don't know how common this is, I have heard of like Hollywood executives, rather than, and maybe this is what this tweet thread from Eric Anderson is referencing, rather than getting paid by the production company as a person, they will start their own business.
Yeah, exactly.
Generally like a partnership, something that allows for pass-through income for taxes.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe there's tax benefits for them doing that or not, but maybe that's what he's referencing is John Cena starting John Cena LLC.
Yeah. Because
or C Nation LLC,
because then WWE is doing essentially business with a company,
as
opposed to an individual, an independent contractor. So that's all pretty interesting stuff.
The last little bit here.
Cerberus here in chat, says, wow, Meltzer brought this up months ago, and now it's getting attention because the law passed. Yeah, and there is no guarantee of that happening.
The law passed the state senate, has not passed the assembly, and has not been signed by the governor yet.
Newsom
says he's going
to sign it.
He wrote an op-ed
We're a very blue state.
Oh yeah, totally.
We'll totally pass this thing.
But it seems a formality, but it has not been signed yet.
Yeah.
This is the last bit here from Eric Anderson. Quote, in regards to AB 5, keep in mind this is a California law, and while California is allowed to define what makes an employee, so is every other state. This will not impact promotions when working in a different state. The real concern will be if and when other states adopt rules similar to AB 5. In areas of great concern will be workers' compensation, unemployment insurance requirements, and wage and hour violations with potential class action ramifications. So, of course, if you're an employee of the company, you are therefore granted the typical protections an employee would benefit from, unless you're an exempt employee. It's 80-hour work week, and if you work over 80 hours, you get overtime, unemployment insurance, workers' comp if you get hurt on the job, all sorts of other things.
Would you say 80-hour work week?
40.
40, yeah.
If I'd said 80, I meant to say 40.
Yeah. Yeah, and they mentioned the potential class action ramifications. I remember once when I worked at the bank ages ago, 20 years ago, there was like years after I was laid off from, it was Washington Mutual, it doesn't even exist now, so now it's part of Chase. There was a class action lawsuit that one of my coworkers, who I didn't even know, brought up, filed, and it was based off of their requirement that we are already ready to do our job by the time the minute strikes so if my start time was 9 o'clock in the morning, I had to already be logged into my computer ready to take the first call, because it was customer service crap, ready to take the first call. Well, that's kind of impossible. You need at least like 5 minutes to boot up your computer,
sit down, get prepped. Yeah,
exactly. And so And so a class action lawsuit was brought, which I got to sign on to, which
To get paid for those 5 minutes.
to get paid for those 5 minutes. I ended up with like, I don't know, a couple $1,000 or something.
wow.
Yeah, it ended up being it was either a couple, I don't know. It was in the range of between 500 and probably 2,000. I forget exactly what it was. It wasn't like big money, but it was like, oh, cool, a free check.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So they could it could open the door to stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on top of that, like I know I mentioned here, but New York has been considering passing something similar. And you know, there is a general phrase out there as it pertains to California, is that usually where California goes, many other states and federal sometimes follows with that law. And it wouldn't surprise me. The more and more, I know even it's been brought up. I'm not sure if it was brought up in last night's debate or any of the debates, but I know some of the Democratic presidential candidates have brought this up as well in terms of federalizing this. I'm sure Warren probably has. And so, you know, it wouldn't surprise me at all, given how much of a gig economy we do live in right now. There's going to be a breaking point.
Yep.
And it wouldn't surprise me if this ended up becoming federal law. So it's funny. And it makes me wonder if WWE would simply take the stance that Uber takes.
Shove it.
Basically.
That's what Uber said.
Uber's the CEO or whoever said, we're not going to recognize this. So good luck with that. And then that leads to, you know, either they'll get sued or Newsom will have to, because apparently they've been negotiating with this kind of stuff for a while. But, so we'll see how that works out. I'm sure that this title and thumbnail are just a bunch of clickbait. WWE is probably still going to be running in California, but they're going to have to change something.
They'll have to change something. I'm sure their team of lawyers is already on the case, finding ways to work around the law as it's written.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Something we'd heard, maybe some in a broad sense, WWE reaching out to promotions around the world to try to work with them, seemingly predominantly to get their programming on WWE Network. This comes from Planeta Wrestling, and this is what they have to say. WWE, and they say here World Wrestling Council, CMLL.
Just remember that this is translated using Google Translate.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Remember that.
I was going to have Steve translate it. I thought he was.
So here's the thing, I can figure out enough if I'm like lost and like, you know, I need to get to the U.S. Embassy. Maybe if I'm desperate enough, I can figure it out.
And getting through it and doing a pretty good job.
That's kind of what I mean. Like I can't get the minutia, but I can get the broad strokes. Yeah, I can get the broad strokes.
Well, neither can Google Translate doesn't get context either. Yeah. Anyways, so it says here, without a doubt, they are the two companies with more money. In recent days, news has come on the web that indicates that WWE and CMLL met to reach a collaboration agreement. As we have learned at Planet Wrestling, WWE's #1 website in Spanish. Hey, they're putting themselves over. Good for them. WWE approached CMLL to buy its video library. The idea of WWE is to offer this content in the premium version of the WWE Network. The status of negotiation between the two companies is currently unknown. Apart from offering a wealth, I believe CMLL is the oldest wrestling promotion on the planet.
That's true.
Beyond offering the wealth of awesome Lucha Libre action, I'm sure CMLL has in their vaults. Why is WWE, according to this article, so desperate to strike a deal with CMLL? According to Planeta Wrestling, quote, WWE is concerned about the alliance between AEW and AAA.
Oh, now they care. Now they care.
It's a reactionary move.
I think yeah. Well, you know, we've known competition makes WWE actually give a crap. So
yeah, no.
So hey, I'll take it. I think
after
it's
2 decades of more or less resting on their laurels and taking everything for granted.
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. I just want to fast forward to the point where, because of course CMLL, they have a really good working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling
and Ring of Honor
Well, I don't care about that.
Well, we have to mention it. They have a working relationship with Ring of Honor. Not that it matters, but it could matter with contract negotiations as far as WWE.
I want to see WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling strike up a talent trade deal. That's what I want to see.
Pipe dream, man. Pipe dream.
Once Vince goes, I think it's possible. You want to really, man? Yeah, that's a pipe dream. So yeah, that's cool though.
Dream.
I'd be down for that. CMLL on the WWE Network. That's cool. I'd be down for that.
Oh, that'd be great.
It'd be rad.
I don't know if CML has a streaming service currently. I have no idea. No idea.
No say, senor.
So
I don't know. I'm sure they have some DVDs out there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Let's find out. We can find out right now.
Find out right now.
We can learn something new every day, man. Streaming?
I follow Lucha Blog, who is actually the where I got this article from. And they're talking about CML shows all the time. I just don't recall where they said they broadcast from. If they broadcast over internet, which I think they do.
I'm not sure if there's like a dedicated place. I'm sure somebody in chat will clue us in.
Yeah.
But they do have videos oficiales on YouTube with 201,000 subscribers. These look like they're all... Oh, okay. So here's
Is there a match?
There's a show.
Or a whole show.
Well, this is an hour long, hour and a half long. So this is
Like
their
TV.
That might be their weekly TV. That looks new.
That's a great shirt.
Yeah.
Dude had there.
Look, this guy. Look, they got the Punisher. I wonder if they're as loose with copyright law as. That might be an
AAA.
issue. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that could be. Huge.
Entire thing is muted. Guys have to be blurred out wearing their Batman outfits.
I know. I know. Let's do an update on the shakeup of WWE commentary coming up here with this Fox deal. It was on News Brief earlier this week, I believe. We talked about word from WrestleVotes that there's going to be some shakeup, maybe potential return of two-person announce teams.
Well, yeah, there seems to be some actual movement now that we're 2 weeks away. There seems to be some actual movement on who is going to be commentating what show.
But it won't be Corey Graves because he retired.
His jacket.
Yeah, his jacket. He didn't actually retire, but it looks like he could be finished, Steve, with Monday Night Raw.
With Raw.
If WrestleVotes is to be believed, they're reporting, quote, the plan as of this Tuesday was that he, Corey Graves, is moving to SmackDown on Fox along with Michael Cole, and he will only appear on SmackDown. No more double duty for Corey Graves.
No mas.
Yes, no mas.
No mas.
No mas.
All right.
So I thought if they want to go with sports approach SmackDown, perfect team be Michael Cole and Nigel McGuinness.
Mm-hmm.
They've been perfect team.
Yeah.
Thank you, Epico. Knowing that Corey, his approach is more in line with great heel wrestlers of wrestling's past, Bobby Heenan, I guess Lawler, maybe Paul Heyman, when Heyman was doing commentary with JR.
That was my favorite duo right there.
They're really good.
Yeah.
If the idea was that SmackDown be more focused on the sports aspect of it, Raw, traditional sports entertainment, Corey would be a great fit for Raw because he doesn't go into the analysis that Nigel does in terms of, hey, this move affects this body part.
Yeah.
So I know Nigel, he's staying in NXT, which is great because he and Morrow and Beth Phoenix are fantastic together. But just thought that might happen. Apparently it's not. Apparently they're sending 2/3 of the Raw announced team over to SmackDown.
That does. There was nothing in there about like who's going to be manning Raw though, so that's kind of interesting.
You got Tom Phillips, you got Vic Joseph, you got
Wait a second.
Byron Saxton.
Yeah.
You got apparently I'd heard previous that Fox was really high on Renee Young and maybe want her for the studio show. So maybe that means she won't do commentary anymore.
Tom Phillips.
We say Todd. That's the director.
I said it endlessly. Apparently on yesterday's or the day before's news brief. I was all over the map with it. I said Todd a bunch. I think because I want to say Todd Phillips.
Yeah,
it's like it's very close.
Yeah, it is. It's
Tom
very close.
Phillips.
So
Tom Phillips.
It's a different consonant.
Like Tom.
And then you got Dio Madden. If he's going to keep doing commentary, you got Aiden English. There's a lot of people doing commentary for WB. If they return to two-person booths.
What are the? I mean, the obvious two, I guess, would be Tom Phillips and
Byron.
Boy, I have a hard time believing they put Byron on Raw. Tom Phillips, I totally think that's a possibility. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe Tom and Aiden English.
DC Cormier.
Oh yeah, that's entirely possible. We heard that he had a tryout.
I just feel like it's got to be like. I mean, I am kind of like, yeah, I don't know. That's a big move by Fox if they get exclusivity over Michael Cole and Corey Graves, because that leaves Raw with
I mean, Tom Phillips is really good.
No, don't get me wrong. I love Tom Phillips.
The analyst role. Who's going to play that?
You see sort of where the power pendulum is swinging, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've heard like now, and ever since the Fox deal was like brokered, Fox wants this, Fox wants that.
Yeah.
They're really making sure that they're going to get theirs.
Yeah, totally.
So that's kind of interesting. And then if you see their advertisements, the Raw, you see Becky Lynch all over there. She's the Raw Women's Champion.
I don't put a whole lot of stock in that, though.
I mean, I don't and I do. I mean, if they're going to have separate rosters.
I would just interpret it more so as, hey, we're just using the top names of WWE to promote WWE on our station, regardless of the brand.
I agree with that. However, you think Fox isn't going to then say, okay, well, we've got the show. We want the top names.
Well, of course, but then you got USA Network saying, hey, we've been your broadcast partner for 20-plus years, more or less consistently straight.
It's a conundrum.
You can't just take all the top talent and put it on Fox. We're actually paying you more than $200 billion a year to broadcast your show on our network, too. So
and we have NXT there. We're paying you a ton for that.
You can't have Brock and Roman and Becky.
Yeah.
And Seth. It doesn't work out that way.
It'll be interesting to see how all that works out.
It's got to have 3 executives from Fox, 3 executives from USA Network.
Step into a steel cage?
No, like sit in a room and have like a draft, and actually have them draft the rosters along with representatives from WWE, in there too to make sure it's not a complete disaster.
It's still so bizarre that this wasn't figured out during negotiations.
Yeah, you think it would have
because
been.
Star power is a big deal.
Well, it's a huge aspect of it all.
Yeah,
absolutely. Speaking of star power, Impact. They're still chasing after that star that is New Japan Pro Wrestling.
People are saying Vic and Aiden for Raw. I like Vic, and I like Aiden, but they're clearly B team. Clearly,
yeah. If anybody is going to be the play-by-play person on Raw, it's going to be Tom Phillips. Mm-hmm. He's been doing on SmackDown for 2 years or whatever it's been now.
I just don't know who his second guy is going to be. Corey's such a fixture on both shows.
I'm not sure either.
Sam Roberts. What's the do with the shorts?
Pat McAfee. Yeah. That'd be funny.
Do a Pat McAfee on a pole match, and you're just up there, and the match never ends.
The match never ends.
You're just up there. You
forever.
Can't talk.
You can't get down.
Forever. You can't get down. God, Adam Cole. So funny.
He's the best. Have Adam Cole do commentary. So PW Insider reached out to the boss man, the head honcho, the big cheese of Impact Wrestling, Ed Nordholm.
Heck yeah, man. That dude's cutting deals. About to buy Ring of Honor. Did you hear about this? Impact. Why isn't that on our thumbnail? Impact's buying Ring of Honor.
That was just some dude on Reddit, man.
There's certain lines we don't feel comfortable crossing here at Going In Raw. Not many, but there are some.
Dude posting stuff on Reddit without some secondary source backing it up. I'm kind of hesitant to really call that news. Anyways, PW Insider reached out to Ed Nordholm about Anthem's recent acquisition of Access TV and how that may affect their relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling. His response, Anthem has been public that it has not made any decisions regarding current programming. We have been longtime broadcast partners with TV Asahi for New Japan Pro Wrestling at Fight Network. Thought Fight Network went out of business. And hope to build on that relationship. We're in the middle of a season of WoW and about to tape another series of episodes next week, so no reason to make any decisions there. In the short term, we're looking forward to getting to know them better. So it's just kind of bland corporate talk. Hey, things have been great before. We hope things will be great in the future.
We're looking forward to getting he knows damn well that New Japan hates them. That's the greatest. That is the greatest bit of like passive aggressive.
Keep trying. It's like, hey,
corporate
come on.
speak.
We want to do business with you.
This is better though. This is better than that because they own their distribution outlet for the United States.
I know they probably feel like they really got them by the.
They don't, but
they don't. But they may feel like
at least till January 2021.
I know
their platform for U.S. distribution that isn't the New Japan world is, and apparently, I mean, it's funny. I don't know how much I. So Meltzer was really talking up the power of Access or what Access has done.
I don't even think I've had Access TV. I don't know if I have it now.
And he really played
it
up.
over. I know.
And like you said, I did not even know about Access until well after.
You knew who Kenny Omega was or the Young Bucks.
I watched Wrestle Kingdom 11.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, it was like, wait, what is it? Oh, it's like a clip show type thing. They run it after the fact. Okay, who cares?
Oh, we can watch half of Wrestle Kingdom 2 months after the fact.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I think that a lot of it was like, I honestly think a lot of it after Omega Okada, that I think broke for a lot of people, and then everybody was starting to see. I mean, prior to that, like what the Young Bucks were doing and being the Elite blew up all around that time. The coolness of Bullet Club, it all sort of was one big massive storm of buzz.
Yeah.
But Axis was like 20th on the list of things that brought me to that.
I'd put Twitter account Larryotto above.
Yes, no, that's like
TV.
That's probably in the top 5
Yeah.
of like what brought my attention to that stuff.
Totally.
Twitter account Larryotto.
I give
that's a good point.
Larryotto way more credit than Access TV.
Yeah. Any number Hot Topic merchandise. I mean, I was afterwards, but still, for a lot of people, I think they went in there and saw that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
How many followers does Larryotto have right now? Larryotto.
However many it is not enough.
Not enough. 39,000.
I'm actually surprised it's that many.
Not even enough.
Yeah.
But
that's totally
they
true.
post stuff. It gets retweeted.
And I'm not talking crap. JS Wooden says Axe is a great channel. I'm sure it is. I've literally never had it.
I don't think I've ever had it either.
I've never had it. I don't know if it's. I had PlayStation View for a spell. I got rid of that. I don't think Axis was on that.
Isn't like Comcast like the number one cable provider in the country? It definitely is in the West Coast.
It's yeah.
I don't think Access is on it.
I'm sure it's in one of the deep sports packages. It has to
Maybe.
be. It has to be.
I've tried. I've looked several times.
Really? No way. Xfinity.
And I don't think it's on Comcast. At least not around here.
We're finding out right now. Breaking news. Xfinity.
Maybe it is in other parts of the country, but I don't think it is here. No, it's not.
Oh my! Are you serious? That's insane.
It's on.
Oh, it's on Sling. That's interesting.
It's on Sling. It's on Dish, DirecTV, Consolidated Telecommunications, and AT&T.
That's crazy.
That's it.
That's insane. That's really bizarre. Wow.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, man. Wow, that is really surprising. So yeah, who knows? But yeah, no, it is kind of funny. No, Impact is like, hey, guess what we did? We bought
your
we
U.S.
bought New
television
Japan Pro Wrestling
distribution outlet, and they're like,
it is pretty funny. I mean, just for they did kind of get the dub for at least a couple days.
who Anthem did?
Yeah, over in New Japan.
They got the dub until Anthem goes out of business because they're
they for 48 hours. At least one person at New Japan had that reaction, what you just did. They sighed, put their head down, because if nothing else, it's just one more headache to deal with.
Yeah, I know.
That's all it is.
I know.
Now they have to wait a year and 4 months.
Yeah.
And then they can go to probably hopefully. I would think, and I don't know what the channel is, but something.
I'm telling you, man, not Prime ESPN, but one of the ESPN channels, ESPN Plus.
Maybe.
That'd be huge.
Maybe. Is ESPN related to any of the channels that are on? No, I guess not. USA.
They're owned by Disney.
Disney, huh? Yeah. Or NBC
Is owned by Universal.
USA is owned by
Viacom.
Yeah. And then TNT.
I guess Comcast owns NBC.
Who owns TNT?
That's the Warner.
Warner?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
All
who
these
knows?
giant media conglomerates.
There's only. I mean, at this point, there's like what 3?
Well, soon
right?
Disney's going to buy everything, anyways.
Probably. Fox? What's Fox?
Fox TV is an independent thing, but 20th Century Fox is now owned by Disney.
That's right.
They own the movie studio. But Fox TV is his own thing.
Sony.
I think Sony is his own thing.
Sony's its own thing, isn't
I
it?
think, yeah. Unless they sold to somebody, I'm not aware of it.
Man, what a mess.
I don't know if they're like. I mean, there's various aspects of Sony's business. They obviously have their the production aspect, movie and TV production, but then there's also the electronics and such. I don't know if they're how tied they are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Anyways, you want to take some questions?
Yeah, man, let's do that. Hit
All
some
right.
of these super chats.
Space Pigs, been a while. Friend doesn't just finished Star Trek Next Generation. God, it's so good.
Oh, man, it's so good.
That's a good show.
It's so very good.
This is great. This is interesting news. I'm sure you're into this. Joshua Martinez, y'all see Bang Bros put a bid in for Arena. Not just an arena.
The Miami Heat, right?
Yeah. The BBC.
I don't
$10 million, man.
It was what, 10 million?
Yeah.
That's not enough these days, is it? What did Golden One pay for?
I have no idea.
What was the silly thing that Hilton used to wear? It was like the most Hilton product ever.
The Power Balance thing?
Power Balance Pavilion, right?
Yeah.
That was what they called Arco?
That's when the Maloofs were running out of money, man. They probably got $25,000 for that.
I'm trying to remember what it was because I thought there was an actual figure out there.
Maybe you can probably find it on the internet.
Yeah, probably. I thought that naming rights were going for a lot more than just 10 million.
Depends on the market.
I mean, it's not like they're going to accept it anyways. I mean, they can offer
Here's the
double
thing
what the next person. They're not going to take
depending
it.
on the market, you hear, oh, such and such bought naming rights for 100 and something million. Well, it's 100 and something million over the course of 30 years.
Over a ton of time. Yeah.
DKC returns. Me and Epico with the team up $102 donation. Thank you,
Nice.
DKC.
That's a great tag team right there.
Christian Womble. Hall of Fame return. # soon. Ooh.
Christian.
Kai Highwell. Just want to say thank you. I've been suffering from depression recently, and your show has made me smile through difficult days. That's why I've been all away from live shows for a while. Again, huge thank you.
Well, man.
Happy we can help, Kai.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope you're feeling okay. Hopefully you're getting whatever it is you need to get you out of that. Our hearts go out to you.
Yep. Jamie, my aunt and sister worked for WAMU.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah.
Epico said, sorry, my boredom set in.
He's a board spender.
Yes. Brian Jankowski, can we put out a PSA that just because a wrestler loses a match or takes a finisher from a top star doesn't mean they're buried? Love you guys.
Yeah, it's shouting into a cave, man.
Yeah.
Nobody listens to that.
No. Mr. Ollie B27, my uncle works at Ring of Honor. He said Impact is buying it. Apparently we just got breaking news right here.
Mr. Ollie B with a £2 super chat confirms for us his uncle is Bubba Ray Dudley and Impact is buying Ring of Honor. His uncle is Rhett Titus. Maybe. Well, we'll see. We'll see if that comes to pass.
We'll see.
His uncle is on Reddit, evidently.
Yeah.
DJ Guttercat, there is a roster plan called Wild Card during negotiations. Okay, so which stars do we get, and which stars are going to remain on Raw? All right, well, I've got this thing called Wild Card Rule.
Wild Card. Testing smoke alarms.
I'm a genius. I forgot to mention this. I'll do it again. On Monday. Well, that's it. We got to go. This place is on fire, Larson.
Oh, God.
Let's see here. We got a couple new patrons in. I'll do it again on Monday, though, just to because I like doing it at the head of the show.
Yeah, totally.
I'm buried in the middle of it.
Wait, did you ask the Austin Zentmeyer question? Sorry. Pick two matches to show someone new to wrestling how impressive it can be. Halftime Heat or Gargano Ciampa comes to mind for me. Triple Mania this year, man. Let's watch that.
Can't go wrong with that. I'd say the thing that got me into New Japan, which is Okada Omega 1. Mm-hmm. I would say that. I think I was Kenny Omega. I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but Kenny Omega, when I saw him wrestle, I had heard some hype before that match, and it was truly like watching something brand new.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I mean, Gargano Ciampa is really good. There's a lot of story that enhances the story being told in those matches, so you kind of need to know that. DJ Guttercat, there's a roster plan called Wild Card Rule.
That's what I mentioned. Yeah, during negotiations, Vince brings that one up. Oh, I got it all planned out. Wild Card Rule.
Wild Card Rule.
A couple new patrons: Patrick Kennedy, Simon Bullock, the pubic hair connoisseur Scott Tenorman. So if you have any questions about the underbush, the fun zone, and the follicles down there, ask Scott Tenorman. Also, Jeremy Russell. Big McLarge Huge. And DJ Booty Dan is back. So welcome back, DJ Booty Dan.
Welcome back.
I'm going to hop on the Twitter here because I got plenty of questions there.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, man, that's right. God, that's this weekend?
What?
Is that going to be on Twitch? Mr. Triple Mania.
It's the same day and probably the same time as Clash of Champions, man. The MSG show.
Can we just co-stream this? It's from MSG. They're not going to stream that. Predictions, though, for AAA's Invading New York event.
Oh, we get Dr. Wagner versus Blue Demon, the rematch. You see Dr. Wagner took a hammer to Blue Demon's hand in the build-up. It's great.
I love it. Isn't Impact running some stuff with AAA coming up soon?
Yeah, they're at this show. They're co-promoting it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's
I got to give the edge to Dr. Wagner Jr. He lost at Triple Mania, so he's got to get the W here, yeah?
You would think.
Yeah.
He might try to go for like a shoot win. I don't know. I get some there's some real bad blood going on there.
Feels that way.
He just took a freaking hammer to the guy's
He broke a
hand.
bottle over his head, a cinder block, and a hammer.
This is big. Going in our Observer. Will David Starr, this is the 13th time, and he's lost 12. David Starr versus Walter for the Progress World Championship.
Wow, they've had 12 matches?
I read that somewhere. I have no idea if it's true. Probably read it on Reddit, so it's sketchy. But evidently they've had 12 matchups already. This apparently is number 13.
And David Starr's lost all of them.
Yes. Progress World Championship.
I mean, it's entirely possible if huge if WWE really wants to, because the deal they've been kind of forcing indies to do with some of NXT UK contracted talent so they can work shows but not appear on broadcasts. And Walter's their champion. You can't really have your champion wrestling in effectively a dark match.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they're really leaning on Progress to. I don't know. I can see backstage stuff where it could happen where David Starr can pick up the win.
Wayne says it's true. I think Wayne, dude, look, to be honest, to be real, Wayne is our Progress expert.
Totally.
I will wait for his response to this. Wayne,
Make your pick, Wayne.
my pick is I don't think WWE would let David Starr pin Walter.
Yeah, I was just about to get to that.
I don't think that's a possibility, but I'm really curious as to Wayne what he thinks about this. So Wayne, let us know in chat. Is David Starr finally going to pick up that Progress World Championship? Let's see here. Moving on. Wayne also says here in response on Twitter, by the way, Progress will not be around in 2 years. It saddens me to say this. Jim Smallman is integral to the show, and with him leaving and poor ticket sales, I can't see it lasting too much longer. The WWE sucked up all the talent in the first wave, and I've never seen empty seats at the ballroom. I think it will all depend. Wayne says dusty finish. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me either.
Before we continue, this AAA show in New York, it starts at 3 p.m. So while WWE's got their pre-show going, we can watch the first hour of.
Perfect.
We can have this going on both TVs.
I'm down. I'm totally down for that.
Yeah.
I would think that it also, if I'm not mistaken, WWE, we read, has some sort of deal with Progress where they can either buy them out of business.
Well, they have an option to buy them, and then I guess the idea is if you buy the company and you've depleted it of its top talent, you're effectively putting them out of business.
Epico said he's going to go enjoy the day with his girlfriend. She's getting mad and wants to go enjoy riding the bike and Bike Week.
Have a good time, Epico.
Have a good time. If WWE doesn't want Progress to fail, they won't let them fail. They will just every once in a while, whenever it's necessary, inject some British Strong style, inject. They'll send. I know Evolve just announced Cassius Ohno versus Walter.
Yeah,
is going to be on one of their shows, and WWE has a relationship with Evolve.
That's pretty crazy. That's
so they are going to, if they want those companies to stay alive,
they will.
They will stay alive.
Yep. Jake Flake at a local indie show, MJF turned to me and screamed, "Do you like that turkey
tits?
Turkey tits.
Mid-match.
How should I feel about this?"
Okay, well, just how would you feel about that?
Laugh.
If MJF turned to you. Yeah, how can you not laugh? How can you not find humor in that? Yeah.
Yeah, just laugh.
Yeah, I just laugh. Turkey tits is pretty funny. That's not considered light profanity, is it? I don't even know what it means.
I don't know. Don't know.
What does that mean?
I assume he's referring to breasts of turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's looking at you.
Yeah.
I mean, where's
the insult there? Turkey
That's
breast.
kind of what I'm getting at.
Turkey breast is delicious.
But he's calling you that. Or he's saying that your pecs look more like turkeys or turkey breasts. I don't get it. I don't know what it means.
I think it's just alliterative. And that's why it rolls off the tongue maybe. I don't know. I don't get the insult per se.
C. Pena says it's like chicken breast. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's good.
But where's the insult?
Where's the insult?
That just honestly just makes me want some stuffing, some biscuits.
Gosh, my tummy's grumbling.
Some gravy.
I got a chicken sandwich in the fridge back there. I can't wait to get it.
That sounds boring, man. Let's go rage.
I did that yesterday. I went to Burger King yesterday.
I know.
I was tired. I needed some comfort food, so I went to Burger King. I don't know how that worked out for me, but
how'd you feel afterwards?
I felt okay.
Felt okay afterwards.
As good as one can expect after eating Burger King.
Samuel Brankowitz asks, it's Friday the 13th. Power rank the top 5 people Dexter Loomis is probably stalking today. I'll be honest, I think it's just strangers.
Yeah.
Easy targets.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
He's just in his car driving around Orlando.
That's what I learned from. I finished up Mindhunter season 2 last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. They really need to do an Ed Edwards season. It was kind of cool because they did. I think, did you turn me on to it or the Atlanta Monster podcast?
I mentioned it to you, so I think I did.
Did you listen to the entire thing?
Yeah, I listened to all of them.
They just did that because the guy that Mindhunter is based on did the profile for that. He was heavily involved with catching him. And so they fictionalized it a little bit, but a lot of the beats that I heard in Atlanta Monster were in this. So yeah, it was really good from that perspective. Some of the characters in the show sort of got short shrift because they focused so much on being in Atlanta. But
Brian Davis, have you guys gotten near Popeye's chicken sandwiches yet? No, we kind of gave up on that.
There's a video that I have to release that video. I might do it. It did so popular. It did so well on my channel. I might post it here, like on a Monday or something, a Monday morning.
Fair enough.
Might do some lifestyle stuff.
Yeah, why not?
Some lifestyle stuff here on Going In Raw. Let's see here. Tim Morris. How would you book Marty Scurll's debut in both WWE and AEW? So you take AEW, I'll do WWE.
All right. Well, his contract's up in November, allegedly, reportedly.
Yeah.
So he pops up he shows up at let's assume November 1, free agent. He shows up at Full Gear, making a huge splash on the pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. Jericho's got a match against Cody. Mm-hmm. Maybe Marty gets involved, helps Jericho win, start a feud with Cody, and be like, hey, you guys left me in Ring of Honor. You a-holes.
That's a good one, yeah. That's a good one. I'm going to go a bit more sinister. I like when WWE hypes up their new arrivals with like mysteries and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have Villain Enterprises sort of be like a conglomerated Zodiac killer. Okay. It's not going to be any actual deaths.
Wait, are we talking like Brody King with PCO with Marty Scurll, one on top of each other with a trench coat on? Is that what you mean by conglomerated?
So if it was Steve W, yes, that's what I would do. But this is WWE. It's a big time. You got to take it seriously. So he would, you know how they leave like hugger section papers? There would be ciphers. There would be like codes left, and people would be posting them on social media, and that's how they would get this across. Like the Zodiac code would be left all over the place, and then at some point during the height of like a big match, maybe at the Rumble or maybe at Survivor Series, lights go down, lights come up, and Brody King is in the middle of the ring, but he has a Zodiac type mask on.
It's like, shut up and give me your keys.
He lays everybody out. And then lights go out, light goes back on, and the rest of Villain Enterprises, including the mouthpiece Marty Scurll, the villain, he's there. And you know, if people have been able to cipher the code, it's the names of Villain Enterprises.
Okay. Daniel Price asks, "Hey Larson, Whopper with or without cheese?" What's the answer, Steve?
Then Marty lands on 205.
No cheese for me.
What's that?
Whopper with or without cheese? No cheese for Larson.
How is that even a question? You guys know the answer to that. I'm a cheese guy. You're a no cheese guy. Thought everybody knew that by now. I like that. I like that Zodiac killer idea. Maybe he does kill people. Let's see here. Lord Ziffer. Steve, a couple of days ago, you mentioned having trouble finding a good French dip sandwich. Have you tried Brookfield's French dip?
Yeah, I've had Brookfield's French dip.
It is supposed to be, is hailed as, I think, the best French dip in Sacramento.
Really?
I think it won some award
I've
at some
had that
point.
French dip plenty, and I wouldn't go to say it's the best in Sacramento.
I've had it at least a few times, and it's really not that great. I do like Brookfield's.
Yeah.
Because it's got like a lot of old people there, and it reminds me of like being near grandparents.
Yeah.
Because you are near grandparents.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's very comforting.
Have you had the French dip at Black Bear Diner before?
Yeah, I think I have.
All right. I haven't. I'm just curious.
Let's see here. Nick Bartlett. Will R-Truth show up on the first episode of NXT Live and defend the 24/7 title?
That'd be funny.
They got to do something. They got to do something to make it bigger. Mm-hmm. It's one thing I kind of agree with that Dave Meltzer on is that he's like, it doesn't feel big because it's in front of like 400 people, and I'm not sure how that's going to translate on cable TV when you're up against AEW selling out, even 6,000 venue arenas.
Yeah. No, energy means a lot.
I kind of agree with that, and I feel like you need buzz. You need like, something big is going to happen.
Yeah.
But also it's NXT. They don't want to.
They don't want
to make it SmackDown light. Also.
Nope.
Let's see here. Eddie Diltz. After Clash of Champions, Raw might actually have the tag titles not be the B story for the Universal title. Who should challenge for them next to help the current state of the division? So I guess he means right now the tag team titles are locked up with the Universal Championship as sort of like just a subplot of that, as opposed to its own carrying its own division. Who should challenge for them next? Well, I think they should go to Rudolph next. I think I picked that, although I'm really not happy with my picks right now.
You did. Predictions will be up tomorrow morning, first thing.
Yes.
Doing something a little different with them.
And I don't know. Like, you got to bring Authors of Pain back at some point.
Yeah. OC or Gallows and Anderson kind of got chumped out too.
They got chumped out. They got some good tag teams there. They just need to focus on them more.
Yeah.
They got Revival, OC, Rudolph now. You can bring Authors of Pain in.
Viking Raiders.
We got War Machine there. I mean, that's actually a really talented tag division.
I know, he's got to do something with them now.
Yup. John Ortelaza. What are 2 pros and 2 cons for Impact buying Ring of Honor? Because that's confirmed by Mr. Ollie B.
Well, pros, I mean, if they do this, if they have the Impact roster, combine that with the Ring of Honor roster, rename Impact Ring of Honor so you get the stink of Impact off your company, that's a pro.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have a match between Impact champion Brian Cage, Ring of Honor champion Matt Taven. You have Brian Cage destroy Matt Taven, Brian Cage Ring of Honor champion. That's a pro. Or Sami Callihan if he beats him at Bound for Glory and then have him against Matt Taven.
Yeah.
Destroys Matt Taven.
Oh, even better.
Callahan is Ring of Honor champion. That's a pro.
Tessa Blanchard comes in and destroys Matt Taven.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And she's Ring of Honor champion. That could be really
Number one con is given seemingly how Anthem has been raising money for all these expenditures, probably loans.
Impact might actually run the biggest con is Impact could actually put Ring of Honor out of business.
Yes,
that's the biggest con.
Yes,
they could get Ring of Honor and just run it into the ground.
And out of business it goes.
Even more.
We've seen how Anthem or Impact has been conducting business of late, especially. You've seen the Killer Cross situation. Apparently had some early morning shoot with no catering, no food, no water. You can't be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, the bigger, I think,
people
honestly,
not getting paid their merchandise stuff.
The bigger question is this: can the wrestling landscape, as it is right now, is there room in the market for Ring of Honor? Is there room in the market for a Ring of Honor / Impact combination?
I think there's more room in the market for Impact Ring of Honor than Impact and Ring of Honor.
I agree with that completely. Is there even room in the market? Is there? Are we at the point of oversaturation when we have 3 2-hour WWE shows and one 3-hour AEW, and then whatever that Impact Ring of Honor conglomeration is? Is there? I mean, that's a lot.
There is. That's
a ton.
11 hours of wrestling?
That's probably way too much.
It is too much.
So I don't know. If they manage their company and don't try to be another WWE, then maybe they can find their business. Maybe they can find their way of staying, solvent.
Maybe.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, I think that was a good show. We've got Ask Steven Larson coming up some point either today or tomorrow. I don't know. We're going to film it today.
There.
Yeah. And then, predictions go up tomorrow morning. We can do something a little bit new with that.
Yeah.
If anything breaks between now and 2:30 Pacific, we will do a news brief.
Sure.
If anything breaks. But as of now, nothing's happening in the world of wrestling.
Nothing.
So there's a possibility we won't.
This will be the only upload you get for the day.
Possibly. But if something big happens between now and then,
sure,
we'll do something. Anyways, thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. We do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Be sure to sub to the channel. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Oh, I'm hungry. Bye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.